Good morning. Welcome to another fresh edition of your breakfast show on Leadership Television inside Nigeria. My name is Winifred Weber, your host on the program. Today is Wednesday, June 25, 2025. And of course, as normally we do on the program, we flag off with Nigeria's most influential leadership. Leadership's leading story today says crisis hits SDP as party suspends national chairman, auditor, youth leader, orders. The story continues on page 4 of Leadership. The national chairman says, I remain national chairman, or the suspended national chairman says, I remain national chairman. PDP, INEC meet over national secretary dispute. Leading story, kickers to the leading story. Crisis hits SDP as party suspends national chairman, auditor, youth leader, orders. Leading story continues on page 4 of the paper. We move to page 3 of Leadership for our stand. Today's stand is on National Assembly 2 years after, taking stock of the nation's National Assembly 2 years after inauguration. The 10th National Assembly recently marked its 2 years in office. Expectedly, it has been reeling out its achievements within the time frame. In the Senate, its leader, Senator Opeyemi Bamidele, disclosed that 108 of the bills introduced have been passed into law as acts of the National Assembly. In quote, in the 2024/2025 legislative year, 506 bills were initiated in the Senate compared to 477 in 2023-2024, a 6.07% increase. The Senate also passed 83 bills into law this session compared to just 25 in the previous year. This represents a 232 increase in fully enacted legislation. We also consider 26 executive bills in 2024/2025, up from 13 in 2023/2024. Private member bills rose from 464 to 480 over the same period, he said. However, let's move towards our stand for the stand of the paper. As the National Assembly embarks on yet another round of constitutional amendments and electoral reforms, Nigerians expect it to step up and be counted in making and acceding to laws that help to shape the democratic processes for good. At the very least, we expect a courageous assembly that will preserve the welfare and security of Nigerians. That seems a very optimistic expectation. As the second half of the session commences, the lawmakers must strive to put themselves on the side of suffering Nigerians who have yet to reap the benefits of the democratic experience. The lawmakers must do more to justify the vast resources the nation is investing unduly in its well-being, which expressly runs counter to the reality that Nigerians are trying to cope with. Stand on today's Leadership newspaper, National Assembly 2 years after, taking stock of Nigeria's National Assembly. From our stand, we move to the back page of the paper where we have Wednesday column with Olufunke Baruwa. Olufunke is writing on Sense and Scandals, honoring Nigerians' democracy on June 12, 2025. Today's column with Olufunke Baruwa, Sense and Scandals, honoring Nigeria's democracy on June 12, 2025. We'll take the quote from that Wednesday column. It says, June 12 is a mirror. It reflects who we were, who we are, and who we must become. It reminds us that democracy was not handed down, it was fought for. Quote from today's column with Olufunke Baruwa, Sense and Scandals, honoring Nigeria's democracy on June 12, 2025. Like I always say before we leave the back page, we must not fail to visit Ghana Must Go. Today's Ghana Must Go news from Wale Edu. Federal government generated 6.9 trillion naira revenue in first quarter 2025. Guess what? Ghana Must Go replied. It's so funny. He said, including foreign loans. Of course, that's a question for Wale Edu, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, for him to answer. From Leadership, don't forget, however, before we leave Leadership, don't forget to log into the website of Leadership for continuation of the stories, www.leadership.ng. We move ahead to the next paper we have on our lineup, and that is This Day. This Day says Kaduna government lashes out at El-Rufai over false claim on projects inaugurated by Tinubu. The story continues on page 43 of this day newspaper. Kaduna government lashes out at El-Rufai over false claim on projects inaugurated by Tinubu. That takes us to the masthead stories above the masthead of this day. Senate approves fresh extension of 2024 capital budget to December 2025. Opposition lawmakers, Nigerians losing confidence in budget process, decry poor performance. Group lampoons National Assembly over budget extension, says it encourages fiscal discipline. Because we want to take some excerpts from that leading story on this day newspaper this Wednesday. And it reads, the Senate yesterday approved a fresh extension of the capital component of the 2024 national budget, moving the implementation deadline from June 30, 2025 to December 31, 2025. The extension, the second of its kind, would provide the federal government additional time to execute ongoing infrastructure projects under the 13.19 trillion naira capital expenditure component of the 34 trillion naira 2024 budget. The story continues on page 10 of this day newspaper. Don't forget to log into the website of this day for continuation of these headline stories and inside stories. We move ahead to the next paper we have on our lineup, and that is Vanguard. Vanguard is still talking national budget. It says 2 appropriations in 1 year. Experts react as National Assembly okays rollover of 2024 budget till December 2025. Also leading story on this day. Reps effort to curb multiple budgets fails. Nigeria's financially bleeding, Senator Abdullahi. 2027 polls orders diverting attention from governance project delivery, Senator Dixon. Experts react. Kickers to the leading story on today's Vanguard newspaper, Wednesday, June 25, 2025. 2 appropriations in 1 year. Experts react as National Assembly okays rollover of 2024 budget till December 2025. Kickers, reps effort to curb multiple budgets fails. Nigerians financially bleeding, Senator Abdullahi. 2027 polls orders diverting attention from governance project delivery, coming from Senator Dixon. Experts react. And on that leading story today on Vanguard, police arrest 48 over Benue massacre, Plateau killings. Strikes continue in Iran, Israel, despite Trump's ceasefire announcement. However, that has been overtaken by events, because as at this morning, they said that there's uneasy ceasefire between Israel and Iran. Police arrest 48 over Benue massacre, Plateau killings. This story runs on page 7 of Vanguard newspaper. And with that, we conclude review of front headline stories on Vanguard newspaper this Wednesday. For more, don't forget to log into the website of Vanguard newspaper. From Vanguard, we move ahead to the next paper we have on our lineup, and that is Nigerian Tribune. Tribune's leading story today says senators bemoan further extension of 2024 budget implementation to December 31. Same leading story in some of the papers we read before. Nigerian Tribune. Seek probe asks whether Nigeria is broke. Of course, this is question on the lips of every Nigerian. Senators bemoan further extension of 2024 budget implementation to December 31. Seek probe asks whether Nigeria is broke. Above that leading story, we have INEC PDP meets behind closed door over national secretary position. It's because the story is a crisis that's continued to bog down the main opposition party, PDP, in the country. With that, we conclude review of front headline stories, because Nigerian Tribune has an advert page just beneath these leading stories. From the Nigerian Tribune, we move to the next paper we have on our lineup, and that is The Guardian. The Guardian says, still talking national budget, 2024-2025 fiscal policy crisis, project funding execution stall over poor budget implementation. The story runs on page 6 of The Guardian. Federal government Lagos Ekiti to check obstacles hindering ease of doing business. High prep yet to attain 80% restoration of Ogoni polluted environment. Fresh PDP Labour Party defections to APC as opposition parties battle internal crisis. And that takes us to the stories just beneath the masthead of The Guardian. Tinubu, former header conflicts and opportunity to structure social stability, food security. Tinubu, former header conflicts and opportunity to structure social stability, food security. 53 suspects arrested over Benue Plateau killings, says IGP. However, Vanguard reports 48. Nevertheless, at least arrests have been made, says IGP. And the story continues on page 4 of The Guardian. 53 suspects arrested over Benue Plateau killings, says IGP. Lagos to begin digital numbering of houses from July 1. And with that, we conclude review of front headline stories on The Guardian newspaper this Wednesday. Don't forget to log into the website of The Guardian for continuation of these headline stories. Even as we move to the last paper we have on our lineup today, and of course that paper is The Punch, and Punch is still talking budget as its main cover story. It says Tinubu now face criticism over 2024 budget extension. OPS economists slam federal government over budget delays. Government eyes December as low revenue stores 2024-2025 budgets. Kicker to that leading story. Tinubu now face criticism over 2024 budget extension. OPS, that is organized private sector, economists slam federal government over budget delays. Government eyes December as low revenue stores 2024-2025 budgets. From that main leading story, we got to the masthead of The Punch beside the 2023-2031 presidency. Tinubu's successor tussle fuse 2027 VP slot battle. 2031 presidency, Tinubu's successor tussle fuse 2027 VP slot battle. Deputy Senate President Jibrin Dison's campaigners as APC bigwigs intensify consultations and high-stakes talks. Kicker to that leading story, another leading story beside the masthead of The Punch, 2031 presidency. Tinubu's successor tussle fuse 2027 VP slot battle. Of course, it's an open secret that the 2031 presidency is a contention that is tearing the presidency and his VP slot asunder. From that, we move to the story above the masthead of The Punch. NEC crisis, PDP governors, INEC talks end in stalemate. The story continues on page 70 of The Punch. NEC crisis, PDP governors, INEC talks end in stalemates. For continuation of these headline stories on today's Punch newspaper, don't forget to log in to the website of The Punch. Even as we bring today's program to a close, we just look at newspaper review. Unfortunately, our guest is not in the studio this Wednesday to throw more light on some of the trending stories. Don't forget to join us on this station for news on the hour. Until I come your way again, this is Winifred Weber. Thanks for joining us.
Be part of our brand. Leadership for God and country. Discover Turkey through education. The culture-rich country of Turkey, which has hosted a myriad of civilization throughout the centuries, is a global pioneer in education. Turkey offers various lucrative opportunities for students. Despite its quality living standards, the cost of living in Turkey is affordable compared to other European countries. A diploma from globally recognized and renowned universities in Turkey will open every door for you. For more information, visit leadership.ng/study in Turkey. Discover Turkey through education. The culture-rich country of Turkey, which has hosted a myriad of civilization throughout the centuries, is a global pioneer in education. Turkey offers various lucrative opportunities for students. Despite its quality living standards, the cost of living in Turkey is affordable compared to other European countries. A diploma from globally recognized and renowned universities in Turkey will open every door for you. For more information, visit leadership.ng/study in Turkey.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast